rocket like rocket fuel.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Name, no name, though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep it score.
Camara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara, fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He finds an opening past the 40, and he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Nothing too fancy there, a simple toss left, but for whatever reason, the defense, they didn't seem ready for it.
Let me continue on with your thought right there, because after the play was over, I kept my eyes on the defenders. Watch them get off the ground, going back to the huddle, shaking their heads and kind of pointing to each other like, what just happened there? I think you were onto something.
Looking to throw, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Now look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. A look now at the Miami offense.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They punted last time.
Here we go, set, 30 base. Screen, watch the screen. Ready.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Double time, 3 down. Hey, check, 3 down, shoot.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They follow 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number.
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Running with Kamara. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Brings up 3rd down.
Back to throw here. It's caught. Smith. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson from the left hash. This from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Big series right here.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
You go tight. You got tight.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd and 11. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump. And that's exactly what happened there.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Bowman. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bowman. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw.
And a lot of people ask.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami.
Touchdown.
From a yard out. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
56 is the money. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
They'll run on 1st down. Bowman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On 2nd down now, it's Bowman. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The Dolphins. 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Bowman.
Yes, baby. Yeah, baby.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And taken right on the 30. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And this one complete to Smith. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start Life Stadium in New Jersey, where you see the final score there. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London. And they trail in their ball game at halftime to the visiting Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore, a touchdown catch in that first half. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we... Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. He was able to escape the pocket and get out of bounds. You like the decision-making?
I love the decision-making, and I love the execution because you just know that his eyes were darting all over the place. You know, they talk about keeping your head on a swivel, looking for the danger spots where the hits are going to come from. How about him getting all he could out of that run and then getting out of bounds?
And he told us, look, I'm a rookie. I'm waiting for the game to slow down, but it seems like he's processing things pretty well.
He certainly is. He's slowing the game down himself with his actions.
On second down, it's Bowman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
you feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
At the 16-yard line.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Kamara.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. They'll set up to throw. Complete. Smith has it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami 1st.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5. It's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And this one is right down Broadway. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Well, they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The open man is Smith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards that time. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Now, listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. And you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. 18 big yards on that one and a Miami first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown.
Great job, man.
A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got him. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joey Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Come on now, let's go.
And that one, an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score, couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within 1 score would have been a powerful motivator for their defense to take the field with.
And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. It's caught. Smith. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
On 1st down, Bowman. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So now the Eagles down by 2 touchdowns, and time a huge factor. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the set. 149. Here I come.
They'll try and start this drive in the air, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 32-yard line. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Dolphins, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.